back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. My name is Tristan Mortlock. I am the captain on motor yacht AWOL, a 37-meter San Lorenzo SD122. Now, I've been working at sea since 2003, and today I'm going to teach you about the rules of the road for seagoing vessels. So let's crack on with it. Now, the rules are formally known as the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea. They're also known as the COLREGs. Now, these regulations have been set out by the IMO, which is the International Maritime Organization. They shall apply to all vessels upon the high seas and waters connected therewith navigable by sea-going vessels. In other words, to simplify it, it applies all vessels that are going to sea. This includes commercial vessels and recreational vessels. The definition of a vessel includes every type of watercraft that is capable as a means of transportation over the water. In accordance to the COLREGs, there are 5 types of vessels, starting from a vessel that is not under command, a vessel that is restricted in its ability to maneuver, a fishing vessel, a sailing vessel, and a power-driven vessel. Now, there are responsibilities between these 5 types of vessels. A power-driven vessel must stay out of the way of a sailing vessel, a fishing vessel, a vessel restricting its ability to maneuver, and a vessel that is not under command. A sailing vessel must keep out of the way of a fishing vessel, a vessel that's restricting its ability to maneuver, and a vessel that is not under command. A fishing vessel must stay out of the way of a vessel restricting its ability to maneuver, and a vessel that is not under command. A vessel that is restricted its ability to maneuver must stay out of the way of a vessel that is not under command. And it's all in that order. So we're going to move on now. I'm going to give you some examples that can happen at sea between 2 power-driven vessels, and who has the right of way in each circumstance, and the actions that must be taken by the give-way vessel. But not only the give-way vessel, the actions that must be taken by the stand-on vessel. Okay, so what we have here are 2 vessels. We have vessel B here and vessel A here. Now, both these vessels are power-driven vessels with no special circumstances. Vessel A is steaming along and vessel B is steaming along. Vessel B looks out its port side bridge wing and determines that a risk of collision exists because the range is closing and the bearing isn't appreciably changing or changing at all. Now, in this circumstance, under 2 power-driven vessels, vessel B would be the stand-on vessel and vessel A would be the give-way vessel. What does this mean? Vessel B, as a stand-on vessel, initially must maintain his course and speed. Vessel A must stay out of the way of vessel B. Now, vessel A can do this multiple ways. He can slow down or stop, so he's not making any movement through the water. He could, if he wanted to, alter course to port to parallel the course of vessel B. In that situation, what could happen then? He does that. A will slow down and stop. B will pass ahead. And then A will come astern of vessel B. But ideally in this situation, if the vessel has clear water to his starboard side and has plenty of depth, he will make a bold alteration of course to starboard to make it readily apparent to vessel B that he has taken action in order to avoid him. So he will make an alteration of course to starboard. Before he makes the alteration though, what's very important, he will sound
one short blast on the ship's whistle and one flash on the older's lamp to let vessel B know that he is taking action. So he'll take his action. They will pass port to port, and as they clear, A will then come back onto its course and pass astern of vessel B. Now, what would happen if vessel A doesn't take any action? So, under the rules, a vessel that has another vessel on its own starboard side or starboard bow, and is a power-driven vessel, both power-driven vessels, he is the give-way vessel, he is the stand-on vessel. But what happens if A doesn't give way? And under the rules, it says that vessel B must maintain its course and speed. Also, under the rules for vessel B, which is a stand-on vessel, if the give-way vessel is not taking substantial action enough to avoid a collision, then vessel B must take action. So what would vessel B then do in this situation? Well, first of all, the officer of the watch would call the master to the bridge because there's a vessel that's not complying with the rules. Secondly, he will blast 5 or more short blasts on the ship whistle, followed by 5 flashes of the ship's oldest lamp. After that, A may then take action or can continue not to take action, then B must take action in this situation. Now, what you're not going to do, guys, in this situation is make an alteration of course to port. Now, I'm sure some of you can guess why that is, but for those of you that can't, is if you make an alteration of course to port, at that moment, vessel A might have realized, oh, I'm the give way vessel, he may take an alteration of course to starboard, causing a very, very dangerous situation. So, as we were, what could B do? Now, B could slow down or stop, but again, you run the risk. If you slow down or stop, at that moment, vessel A may have altered its course to starboard. Now, there's nothing in the rules that says you can't slow down or stop, but I think it's a bit of a risky game, and depending on the circumstances, the ideal situation, the ideal maneuver that you would want to make is a very, after shouting the 5 short blasts on the ship's whistle, you'll take 1 short blast on the ship's whistle and make a bold and substantial alteration of course to starboard, paralleling vessel A's course. And then what you would do, you would slow down, possibly stop, A will pass ahead, and then you will then come astern of A. Another scenario, what happens if we have 2 vessels that are coming head to head like this? The range is closing, they're on a collision course. What are you going to do? Now, in accordance to the rules, this is a head-on situation. It should be relatively simple. Vessel A will alter his course to starboard, and vessel B will also alter his course to starboard. Both vessels will come, pass port to port, or red to red, as some like to call it, and then come back on their courses and continue. Another scenario is we have 2 vessels, vessel B and vessel A, and vessel A is overtaking vessel B. What is the rules? Now, in accordance to the COLREGs, any vessel overtaking another vessel must keep clear of the vessel overtaken until finally passed and clear. So vessel B is cruising along. Vessel A must keep clear of vessel B, and he must pass him at a safe distance. And any alteration of course after here is still an overtaking situation until finally passed and clear. Now, what does finally pass and clear means? What it means is the distance between the two vessels is constantly opening. In other words, it's increasing. That's what finally pass and clear means. Now, another scenario is how do you determine whether or not a vessel is overtaking, how do you determine whether or not a vessel is overtaking or is crossing? Now, in accordance to the rules, a vessel is deemed to be overtaking when the vessel is coming from more than 112 degrees above the beam. So in other words, at night, he could only see the vessel's stern lights and not the side lights. If you are in doubt whether or not you are overtaking or you are crossing, you shall be deemed to be overtaking in accordance to the rules. At night, a power-driven vessel that is a power-driven vessel under 50 meters shall exhibit a starboard light, green, which has an arc of visibility of 112.5 degrees. On the port side, a red light, which, like the starboard light, has an arc of visibility of 112.5 degrees. Now, for a vessel that is less than 50 meters, the range of visibility of these lights can be no less than 2 miles. He will also show a mast headlight, which has an arc of visibility from the bow all the way to starboard of 112.5 and from the bow to port of also 112.5. So a total of 225 degrees arc of visibility. Now, for a vessel less than 50 meters, the range of visibility of this particular mast headlight must not be less than 5 nautical miles. And finally, on the stern, as you can see here, I put the line of the arc of visibility. The stern light will have an arc of visibility of 135 degrees with a range of no less than 2 nautical miles. For a vessel greater than 50 meters, it must have one additional mast headlight, and the range of visibility of the side lights go from 2 miles to 3 miles, and the range of visibility of the mast headlight go from 5 miles to 6 miles. And finally, the stern light will be from 2 miles to 3 miles.
So I really hope you enjoyed that video and you managed to learn a thing or two about operating a seagoing vessel. Now remember, these rules do apply to all of us. You know, even if you have a 20-foot speedboat or a fishing boat that you use for recreational purposes, you must comply with these rules and regulations. Now I know this is not my typical type of video, but I wanted to get a bit more of an educational insight into being a deck officer or a martyr on board a vessel. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments box below, because I've got a lot to teach you if you are interested. As always, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and please do click the like button, because it really does help us to grow. If you don't know already, we are offering a competition to win a week's vacation on board Motor Yacht Able. This includes all your expenses, your flights, your food, and all your travel from your local international airport to the vessel. All you have to do is click the link in the description, the raffle link, answer a very simple question. The tickets start from £15, which is the equivalent to 20, more or less $20 US, and you could be in a chance to win the vacation of a lifetime on board a luxury super yacht. If you're interested in some merchandise, do check out the merch shelf below. If you're looking to join the super yacht industry as a crew member, whether it be in the engineering department, interior, deck, or galley, check out our Patreon account, because I'm offering a mentorship and guidance of how to join the yachting industry. Just go to www.patreon.com/superyachtcaptain. Thanks again, guys. I look forward to seeing you all next video.